Hi, this is Gingersnap. I'm Lisa Redfern. What's Gingersnap? It's a conversation in a cookie with a creative Mainer, because I like alliteration. And I'm here with Dave Mallett, and I'm sure you recognize him and know a lot about Dave Mallett. But for those of you who don't, I think of you as, let's see, Maine's boy next door troubadour. How's that? I just made that
That's
up
fine.
just now.
That's pretty good, actually. It's got a rhyme in there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Boy next door troubadour. So you were raised in Dover Foxcroft and you live in Quebec, and
right.
you're a Maine guy, and you've been singing
6 generations.
Wow, really?
I'm trying to figure out if it counts when the old guy came here. Was he first generation, or the man that was born here? Is that first generation?
That's a really good question.
5 or 6, and then on my mother's side and my father's side, we're from Nova Scotia, so we were from away.
You have a little maritime blood in you. Lovely.
Hey, a little hay.
So Dave tours all over the place. I'm not going to go in too much to your biography because a lot of people know that and it's been talked about a lot. But I'm personally incredibly excited to have you here. I've been a fan of yours since I was 15, and I know you don't remember, but you did. My dad opened for you in 1970. You do?
Yeah, that was
at
fun.
Little Sears Park Coffee House.
That little library in town.
Yeah, and then you came back to our house.
I remember that too.
At that point, my dad and I had a repertoire for 2-3 years. So you sang, and then my father and I sang.
What's the date on that?
You know what? There isn't a date on it.
I think it's around 40 years ago.
Yeah, because I was 14 and I'm 54.
Yeah, man.
So
pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Wow.
And this is what I remember too, is that after my father and I sang and you were leaving and you were so lovely and supportive and you said to me, keep singing, and when you have something to say, write a song.
Huh.
So you may be one of the big reasons that I ended up doing writing songs, and so thank you.
But you could have been an astrophysicist or something.
Yeah, maybe I'd have money now.
That's right.
That's okay. I accept the mantle. So something I wanted to ask you about the importance of music. I feel like music saves lives. I don't think it's too. I don't think that's too grandiose to say that. I think that. I think it's incredibly important for keeping the hope alive for people. How do you feel like right now music is important to how we live our lives and how we communicate with each other, especially not to send you off into it.
It's the only place that makes sense right now. Everything else seems chaotic. So that's about all I can say. I mean, it's the only way I can make sense of the people that I live amongst is musically. We'll see.
Yeah.
These are strange times.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Dave, do you know your first word? And if you don't know what it is...
I don't. I bet it was cat or dog. I got a feeling...
You have a lot of pets around?
Yeah, a lot of pets. We always had pets and always had several cats and kittens. I remember my mother was always like, she just had this big heart, and all the strays came and had kittens. And then we had to get rid of the kittens and give them away and all that. So, one of those things.
Okay. Well, my first word was cookie, and so I usually bring 2, but I brought 4 because in case Dave likes, this is a ginger molasses from Rosemont Market. So this is Gingersnap. I'm sorry, this is ginger molasses, and this is like the biggest chocolate chip cookie you've ever seen. Look at that. Whoa. So if you'd rather, we're gonna have a little bit right now. So have a little bit of whichever one you want.
Just a bite.
Just a bite. Because I like to promote local bakeries and say, that's a salted chocolate chip, right?
Wow, wonderful.
Okay, you gotta try a little bit of this one when you're done with that.
I don't want to mix tastes.
Well, they'll be very close by. Oh my gosh, I gotta try the other one. So, I go to whatever bakery is closest to whoever I'm interviewing, and it just happened to be that Rosemont was close. But they also make incredibly good cookies. All right, Dave. I want to know, when you were a kid coming up, did you have a really, really cool car that if you could get back, you would now?
My first car was a '62 Chevy.
What color?
Black, with a red interior.
Oh.
And it cost $500.
Oh my God.
And it was great. It was a '62 Chevy two-door hardtop.
Wow.
And some old guy backed out of his driveway and totaled it on an icy road. But it wasn't worth much, so we could fix it up. Like, to total a car back then.
I didn't mean all that.
Yeah, you could. So my brother bought it, and he fixed it up and drove it for another 2 or 3 years. I remember, even after it had been totaled. So there you go.
That's great. All right, so books are usually pretty important to songwriters. Do you have a couple books that you tend to go back to, or you tend to recommend, or something you're reading right now?
No, not right now. Not that I go back to.
Mm-hmm. But did you have books that when you were coming up that you loved?
Yeah.
Took you places?
I'm drawing a blank though, because it was music was always my big thing,
Yeah.
and that's like 3-minute increments that I think in, and books were always more of a bigger investment.
It's a bigger commitment.
I think I don't know. Siddhartha was a book I was into when I was young, and a few since then. Let me think about this.
Yeah. We can circle back to that. So, getting to music, are there a couple albums? You don't even have to limit it to 2, but are there 2 or 3 albums that have been like a touchstone for you that really,
Ooh.
if you had to crystallize it?
I was just thinking the other day about folk music and how I happen to play acoustic guitar. And one of them was Harry Belafonte's Calypso album, which came out, I believe, in 1956. It had Deo, it had Jamaica Farewell, it had I Reveal How I Do Adore Her, all these great songs. And then Peter, Paul and Mary's first album in '62, definitive album for me. 2 acoustic guitars and those incredible voices singing together, and then I think Gordon Lightfoot had a record called "Did She Mention My Name?" When I was in college, that I got a hold of that, and that's the one that said to me that I should be writing songs. And from then on, it's like other stuff,
Yeah.
Those are 3 big ones.
Yeah, those are good ones. So when I think back on when I first started listening to you, I was listening to Pennsylvania Sunrise, and the songs that bubble up for me as some of my favorites are Last Time I Saw Annie, Arousik, Phil Brown, Moon Upon the Left. Anyway, you don't happen to have any of those in your head right now, do you? Or anything. So sing something that you're in the mood to sing.
There's a moon upon the left, and there's a star upon the right, and there's a nightingale singing to the wondrous overnight. There are gentle deer grazing in the meadow with no fright, and there's no past and there's no future, only now. We have chanced upon this fragile scene somehow, and I can hear the clover whisper, oh so softly as we pass, as we find our way to somewhere down the old familiar path. And all the trees are shyly watching as I slowly take your hand, and when our bodies come together, there's a hush across the land. And there's a cottontail watching for his lady as she sleeps. I'm a lover of tradition, here's my heart, it's yours to keep. Won't you take me as I'm giving? We'll be lovers in our flight, 'cause there's a moon upon the left, and there's a star upon the right. That was kind of fun.
Oh, thank you.
These songs, I used to use a lot of words, and I find that sometimes when I sing these songs now, I run out of breath because I had so many words back then.
Wow,
It's like I'm getting old,
That's funny.
And it's funny, the newer songs, the more recent songs that I've written, maybe within the last 10 years, less words. I look at that on the paper, and it's interesting.
Well, Well, sometimes I use when I teach songwriting to high school students, I knew this place, I knew it well, every sound and every smell, and every time I walked, I fell for the first 2 years or so. There across the grassy yard, a young boy running
I always
hard.
thought that was such a unique song.
What was the name? Brown and Bruised and Battle Scarred, because it has that, it has that internal alliteration that I love too. Yeah. I love those.
I always thought that was a unique song because it's saying, it was sort of like something, it was a tribute to growing up, and it was like, I wrote that in my 20s, and I was just thinking, at that point when I was writing that song, I was thinking about what fun I had when I was a little kid, and that sort of came out of that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I also really love when you think about the last time I saw Annie. We were supposed to meet in Calais back in 1967, but my Annie never came. So if you think about it, it's so funny because it's like the last time I saw her, I didn't actually see her.
You're right.
That's
interesting. I never thought of that. Whoa.
I love
you got
that.
me.
I thought, and I've thought of like.
Bye-bye. Well, that's wild.
Yeah. Can you sing just the beginning of that? I know there's a lot of. Different tuning.
I gotta drop tune. But all this time we're supposed to meet in Cal back in 1967, but my Annie never came. Now some people are farmers, and others farm the oceans, and some men own the factories that clutter up the town. And some people are good folks, and others they're just outlaws. But Annie was an angel, and me I hang around. Here's where the harmonica solo comes. I'm not really prepared for that.
No, that's all right. I put you on the spot a lot, but I just I love all your music, but those early ones for me hit me at a time when I was starting to think about all that. So you have 17 albums, if I counted correctly.
Yeah, a couple of them are live albums. One is a spoken word of Henry David Thoreau's "The Maine Woods" that I did. Wow. But it's upwards of 17. I'm hoping to get a couple more out of me. Maybe, I don't know yet. We'll see.
What do you mean? You hadn't gone somewhere?
I don't know. You run out of steam. And...
So what are your favorite? The nights that you feel most on fire and in the pocket, and this is exactly. What are those nights? How would you describe what happens?
Like doing a gig, you mean?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing for me these days is the monitors and the sound man. It's like I'm just discovering the key to a good show is a good sound man.
It's not being distracted by the sound.
Yeah, and
for sure.
Feeling like if you need something, you can ask for it and you get it. And I was in Portland, Oregon 2 weeks ago, and I was really, really exhausted. It was the third night in a 3-night run, and the crowd was light, and I was a little down, and I just get out there, but the sound man was so good. He made it come alive for me. It was great.
And you got your energy, and you
got my energy, and I brought the crowd to it.
That is great. That's fantastic. Well, I hope you keep singing and playing for a long time. All right, so this is one of my favorite questions to ask people. If a movie was made about your life, Dave Mallett,
oh my goodness,
what genre would it be, and who would star as you, or who would you like to have star as you? I have a couple ideas if you don't.
Oh man, what genre?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Action, adventure, comedy, romantic comedy.
Documentary. Yeah. No, I had never thought about that. Maybe a Western would be cool. Just the visuals.
That's perfect for what I...
Yeah, and I'm living... I live outdoors pretty much. I live on a farm, and I go to town once in a while, and it's kind of like I lead the country life. Yeah. And I have horses, and maybe a Western.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to star.
Okay, I'll tell you who I thought about. Okay, so if it was a bearded combination of Clint Eastwood and Robert Redfern, and they were bearded.
That'd be good.
Like if you morphed them, and then they had a beard and white hair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those guys both got 20 years on me, though. That's the thing. So.
Well, I didn't mean to. I meant like in.
That's right.
All right, so Dave, if somebody wants to reach you, like to have you play an incredible gig, that he's booked a lot and travels a lot, so, you know, but
Website.
to get you to davidmallett.com, right? Yep.
And that's a place.
Keep it simple, right?
Go to the artist or something, or contact,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
bookings. I think that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. That's the best way.
Good. And one more question. You were raised in Maine. You've been away from Maine, but you always choose to come back. If you were to put one little, in a nutshell, why does Maine speak to you so deeply? Other than, why do you choose it again?
It's real.
Yeah.
It's just real. I don't know. I go other places and it's nice, but I just can't imagine living anywhere else. I mean, except maybe in the wintertime I could deal with a little bit less of it, but 9 months of the year, it's paradise, you know.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, Dave, do you want to play a little bit more of something? Something new, maybe? From last week?
I think I'll just noodle.
Okay, noodle. All right, while you're noodling, I'm going to mention that if you want any more information about Dave, I'll say again, DaveMallett.com. If you need any more information or want to know where I'm singing or playing, go to LisaRedfern.com. And this has been Gingersnap 93. Next up for me is there's a play going on in Portland who licensed a song from me, so that's happening. And then I'm doing a house concert with Jesse Terry. And then I've got a jazz show at Georgetown at the Robin Hood Free Meeting House.
Wonderful, I know that place.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And do you want to mention any the most recent or the most?
Nothing in Maine coming up. New Hampshire in late November.
Oh, so you have a little time to chill.
Yeah, a little time.
That's nice.
Get the wood in.
All right, that's right. That's what we have to do too. All right, Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really love this. You've been Gingersnapped. Consider yourself Gingersnapped.
Wonderful.
All right, so we're gonna have a few more cookie bites after this. So thanks again. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and this has been Gingersnap. Here's a little song. This has been Gingersnap.